What is going on, everyone? Matthew97657 here, and today we are back with yet another figure unboxing and review. And as the title and thumbnail suggests, this is going to be the Bandai Limited Movie Monster Series Godzilla 1954 maquette figure from Godzilla the Art. So, as always, nothing more to it than to get on right on into it. So, if you did catch the -1 Godzilla theater exclusive figure from last upload, then you did know that we unboxed a buy order, which I did order 2 figures from. And so all we have that remains is this one here. And so I'm just going to peek in the bag just a little bit. Completely went against what I said there. But as you can tell, this is it here. It's wrapped up. You can kind of see the translucency. But before we get to that, I wanted to show off, I guess, a sneak peek for another video. So last video, we did show off this cool Shin Kamen Rider binder from Calbee, which is a chip company, if I'm correct. So very cool, right? But as a teaser for one of my upcoming videos, which I'll do eventually down the line, we do have these as well. These very cool binders here of Shin Kamen Rider. Oh yeah, so sneak peek for one of my other videos, but alas, let's get past that advertisement and go back to the figure here. All right, we're unwrapping it. Man, this one was revealed in March of last year, I think, and they were like, okay, we're gonna reveal it, but you won't be able to get it until, they said, December of 23. Come November 3rd on Godzilla Day, I follow a good amount of the Japanese Twitter side, and they're like, I got a shipment in, and it was for this. So here it is, guys. Here it is, the Godzilla 1954 maquette figure. And wow, it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it would be. It's honestly probably like 5 inches, because that's my finger there and my nail, and I'm already getting towards the head there. I thought they made this figure look huge, but it's actually relatively small. Wow. It looks good though. In no way am I complaining about a small figure, because I mean, once you have a lot, a small figure is always welcome. But look at that. You can see the white eye there into the teeth, and it's not a seam. It looks like there's a seam along the teeth itself, but the jaw, there is a space between those. So that is very cool. As you can tell from the tag here, Godzilla 1954. Then, yes, that's all I can really say. Wow, this one is awesome. The Japanese text, which I cannot translate, and then once again, Godzilla. Straight up. Wow, look at this one right here, guys. The paint looks great. The sculpt looks really good, actually. I really like it. Obviously, if you don't know... Oh, I forgot. If you don't know, this was a part of the Godzilla the Art exhibit they held back in March. And then, like I was saying, they didn't release the figures until November 3rd, which were supposed to come out in December. But, right, as always, something's always going to come early. But this one is based off the 1954 maquette, which is honestly awesome. For them to, you know, use the concept of something that, you know, pretty much like gave this whole design not meaning, but it was like a foot start into the design itself. And for it to get its own figure is awesome. You know, that maquette is really cool. I'll probably put a photo of it on the screen here if you guys haven't seen it. It's awesome. So I can't explain how like so cool it is to have something like this, right? It's essentially like a prop to some degree immortalized in this figure's design. So it's awesome. The dorsal plates are very cool. They have a nice gray into whiting color scheme, which is awesome. The teeth are all kind of that yellowish, not mustard yellow, but kind of like yellowish with tint. Just as you could expect, like a teeth, especially like on like dinosaur toys, they especially kind of do that kind of color schematic. And then, yeah, it's a nice small figure. Like, it fits in the palm of my hand here, right? Compared to some of the other figures that we do get, this is awesome. So it's a very beautiful figure. I know it's pretty expensive. I know it's gotten really expensive, especially for us overseas. If I had to give away my secret, I would say, guys, just try using buyee. And no way am I sponsored by them, but occasionally they do run coupons, and if you're doing a joint order of a lot of things, then it's honestly worth it in my opinion. I ordered, I think, 9 items, right? The 2 figures, the Kamen Rider binder, more Kamen Rider stuff, and then even some other cards that I will put on the channel, but I don't want to spoil it because I think it'd be cool to just show off. And so I got this guy for around 80-ish with that coupon. So it's not bad. I know I checked eBay recently to show some people what figure I was referring to, and I've seen listings as much as like 220, 200. And I personally, I don't know, that's a lot. I haven't spent that much on a Bandai figure in so long. I mean, I can understand why this one is so sought after, but like I said, if I had to give away, you know, some tips and tricks on maybe how to get this guy more affordably, I would definitely say buyee. Their shipping can be a lot sometimes, but even if you just buy this one item alone with a coupon from Japan, assuming that their prices are lower than what they are on eBay, then I think you're still going to come out with it being cheaper than buying on eBay. Granted, I don't think it's going to be like 20 bucks, but you know, it's definitely a viable option that I recommend to any new collector, old collector, because that's just the way I do it. And maybe, you know, maybe I'm misinformed. Maybe there's a better way to do it, but that's just the way I taught myself and finding out how to, you know, do this stuff. You know, I've been in the game a long time, guys. So not to like brag, I'm not bragging by any means, but I've been in the game a long time. So, you know, I actually started, you know, buying from places, you know, to recommend, because, you know, it's a busy world out there. You don't have a lot of time to research, and you never know, right? You're putting trust in sellers. So I would recommend that. Always make sure the seller you're buying from is kind of verified in some degree. But regardless of that talk, I know we kind of stepped away from the figure here. We're going to go ahead and do the comparisons we have. I don't have too many 54 figures. Obviously there is no one-to-one comparison with this maquette unless I worked at Toho and had it. So we're gonna go ahead and bring out one of the other limited movie monster series figures they've made. This was called the Retro Blue 1954 from 2019, celebrating the 65th anniversary of Godzilla. So it's kind of a contrast, as you can tell. Obviously they're both trying to depict the 1954 suits in some degree. I guess besides the maquette figure, just because that probably came first before the suit. And so it's cool. It's cool to see it, you know, like I said, it's very cool to see it immortalized as a figure for all of time. Granted, it's not that easy to get because they made it an exclusive for an exhibit in Japan, but regardless, it's still very cool for them to make something like that, you know. So this is, oh man, the 1954 Bandai from what? From, it was 2001. I don't think these were technically called movie monster series. I think this was Godzilla. It wasn't Godzilla Island, that set of figures, but it was a set of Bandai figures from back then. This is just kind of like the clear gray one that I have. I know they made kind of like a maple green one, but this is that clear grayish one compared to the maquette. Once again, 54 to 54. And then last but not least, for our last comparison of the day, we're going to go ahead and I guess do an unfair one, if you want to call it that. But this is the 54 Godzilla SH Monster Arts towards the maquette. And look at the monster arts. The light is really making that suit look really dark. While this one looks extremely gray. But once again, 54 to 54, I kind of have the monster arts in a pose. So please forgive me on that. But, I mean, nonetheless, they're both trying to capture the aura that the 54 did, which is awesome. That maquette one is just so cool. So yeah, I mean, that really does wrap it up for figure comparisons, right? Like I said, I don't have too many of the 54 figures, like that. But I guess we'll go ahead and compare the two figures on the whole reason why I made this entire buyee order. Look, even the -1 is taller than the maquette one there. So, I mean, yeah, these two were pretty much the reason why I made a buyee order, because I knew they were going to be pretty hard to get, or not hard to get, they're going to be pretty pricey to get through something like eBay or something like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the buyee route. It's worked before. I don't see why it wouldn't work again. A loss, it has worked. So that's my recommendation to anyone who might be a little fearful into just jumping in, right? So as always, you know, you can leave a comment. I'm always going to try and respond. I know I'm busy and sometimes I don't respond immediately, but I always try to respond to some degree to help provide the information and knowledge that I know. So yeah, I mean, that really is about it, guys. It's kind of cool to see the contrast between, man, that's the word of the day, huh? It's cool to see how these compare with one another, of this figure being the 54 mold design inspiration or design aspect of it, while we just have our newest iteration of Godzilla from Godzilla -1. So obviously not the suit mold, but with reference to the suit. And then we have our newest Godzilla here in this very nice blue. So that is going to wrap it up. I have, funnily enough, wrapped both of these videos at about 11 minutes. The Movie Monster Series ones, I can't drag them out too long. I mean, I can talk and talk and talk, but, you know, there's no point in it, of me talking for it so long. So as always, guys, let me know what you guys think. This guy is awesome. He's not super small, but he's small for a Bandai figure. He's got a really, really nice design and some cool paint apps. And it's just a very memorabilic figure to own. So I don't know what I'm on. I'm very tired. But I knew I had to get these videos out because, you know, these are very cool. So with that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. I have no idea what it's going to be. But as always, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya!